Hello, 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 and welcome back to Birdwatch, the great pop culture debates video photo review of the looks from the main stage of RuPaul's Drag Race UK Season 2. I'm your host, Eric Resniak. Please pardon our dust as we revamp the way that we do these videos. And I am joined today by my very special guest, Derek Mekita.
Hello, Governor.
Hello, Governor. Are you ready to judge some queens?
Indeed, I am.
Terrific, because today we are here to toot, boot, shoot, Poot, and Moot the looks from episode 3 of Drag Race UK Season 2. And the challenge was who wore it best, in which the queens were paired up with one another, assigned a color category, and then they had to compete to see which queen created the best look. So we are going to jump right into it with our first gal up. It's Ahora. Derek, what did you think? She was on Team Black.
So, Ahora, very well constructed. Though on the runway, we lose a lot of the embellishment and detail she puts into the look because it's all black. The styling is also strong. Even if it's slightly derivative of Sharon Needles' Canine Couture costume in season 4, which Ahora herself even acknowledged on Twitter today. Good choice on the beret. The whole look is just glittered and sparkled, which really showed off the look well. Love the puff sleeve and the long train on that jacket. So this is a toot for me.
It is a toot for me as well. I actually think this is the most fashionable look on the runway. I think it was the best design look on the runway, but I think she was screwed by having black to work with. Yes, it's a fashionable color, it works with everything, but it's not going to pop. And so I think that's where she did herself wrong. It may have been referential to another look from literally a decade ago on the show, but it was still great. I thought it was very stylish. I thought Ahora acquitted herself well, and I think just lost out on the win. Next up on Team Black, we have her teammate / opponent, Tayce. What did you think, Derek?
So with Tayce, I like the silhouette. I think using the safety pins as she did help mask the construction issues. It was a smart material to work with because the stiffness of the pleather would ensure that it looks structured and constructed. I think Ahora helped her with that a little bit. It was well styled, even though we got a repeat of the Wales Dragon look. Tasteful choices on the embellishment accessories. Makeup is always on point. Tayce knows her face and she knows what works for her, so it's a toot for me.
I'm actually going to moot this, and I struggled because it is objectively a good look. She looks pretty, but I feel like this is the third week in a row where I've said Tayce can do better than what we're seeing. And at this point, I'm going to have to judge on a curve, and this is not enough. Tayce is a fashion queen. This is okay. The construction is not good. We've seen that hair from you before. You can't pull that same out in 3 weeks. No way. So for me, I'm mooting it. I need her to come alive, and I don't know what else it's going to take. Next up, we had Team Pink, and it was Ginny Lemon. Derek, what did you think?
Well, it's clear that she put more effort into Rue's challenge to be more curvaceous than the actual garment. On the positive side, the pink went really well with her signature yellow, but overall, it was just too simple and honestly not that all well constructed. I agree with Michelle Desage on the critique of Ginny's choice of shoes. Anything less granny would not be in Ginny's wheelhouse, which I get, but it clearly is a clash of aesthetics for her this week. Identity crisis embodied. Series brownie points for her effort in giving the judges what they asked for, but at the end, Ginny fell short because this was outside her comfort zone, so I have to give it a boot.
Yeah, it's a boot. I really enjoyed Ginny this episode. I thought it was a great episode for her. I think she even kind of kept to her personal aesthetic in that it, to me, references pink lemonade and her whole thing is lemon. But it's not a good look. It's super basic. It's not flattering. The looks of her in the pads and the tits are pure nightmare fuel. So I thought it was a good episode for Ginny, but a bad look, and for that reason, it's a boot. Next up, we had Sister, her pink teammate / competitor. Derek, your thoughts?
Yes, so for sure the stronger look of the two pink pals, but that bar was pretty low by comparison. I think it was well styled. I love the roost trouser boots, as well as the oversized sleeves. It looks well constructed. She had a vision for it. It was well executed. Honestly, Sister's been middling her way through this whole competition so far, but the makeup was a marked improvement over the past weeks. I just think it was too much of a knockoff of a Juno Birch to feel authentic for Sister. So this is a moot for me.
Okay, I get that, and I'm gonna toot it because I do think there's a lot of construction here. It's interesting to me. Totally see the Juno Birch knockoff with the makeup. I feel like Sister has reasons for doing these wild makeups in her head, and she never bothers to share them with us. And that may be a deliberate choice on her part, but as an entertainer, if you're not telling the story, then you're not really including us in what you're trying to do. I will toot this because I think there's a lot of craftsmanship and a lot of artistry in this, but I continue to feel like we're not connecting with her, and I don't think that that's a mistake.
Yeah.
So moving on, we have Team Green. It is Veronica Green up first. What did you think, Derek?
I agree that it was the stronger look of the green gals. It's well constructed. It looks great on her body. Where I struggle with Veronica, and this has been consistent, is her makeup. I think maybe it's because I prefer queens who go whole hog when they beat their mug, but her paint was just too simple for me and too simple for what her facial features require. She's very real womana, but I'm missing the fantasy. I feel like this is early seasons of Drag Race. And honestly, if the fabric didn't have so much sparkle, Michelle would have called it out for being too basic. So, and God, don't even get me started on that wig. Yeah, this is a boot for me.
Is it? Okay, I'm tuning it. Sorry. I hear what you're saying about the makeup because I often have those situations with Veronica myself. It can read very harsh and it can read man jaw. But I do think this is pretty. I think it is very feminine. I think it's flattering on her. It's well constructed. As she said, she lined it. The fabric did 9/10 of the work here,
Yeah.
but it was still enough for me to give it a toot. Her competitor was Tia Coffee, and go ahead, Derek, take it away.
Oh my God, choices. I have to wonder if she would have been more successful with her original concept, but we'll never know.
We'll never
This is
know.
giving me a Party City knockoff of Trixie's Ugliest Dress Ever in season 7, which is really saying something. I think the worst thing we've ever is it the worst thing we've ever seen on the runway? Not by a long shot, but Tia Coffee was clearly riding the struggle bus this week, and it showed. And in her words, it was an adequate dress made of material that's on her body. So this is a boot.
It is a moot for me. It's actually not a
Oh,
full moot.
Aaron.
And let me explain why, dear viewers. When we were watching this episode on Friday night, people were like, this is terrible. Then came, or excuse me, Thursday, then came Friday, and we saw the garbage that was sent down the street during the ball on season 13. And this is nowhere even close to that level of shit. So I actually don't think it's terrible in comparison to other bad looks, even bad looks on season 1 of UK. This is not that bad. It was the worst of the bunch here, but I'm still gonna moot it. That I love Tia, so there you go.
Look at you grading on a curve.
Yep, grading on a curve. Next, it's Team Blue, and first up we have Astana Mandela. What did you think?
Oof, girl thinks this was anime. I mean, it was just missing any sense of joy from the moment it walked out. The judges assumed it must be a figure skating outfit, and it was all downhill from there. Was it well constructed? Apparently, but the shades of blue she went with just were too drab. It needed a contrasting bow or something to give it more anime schoolgirl feel, and she just fell short. So I agree with Rue. I think Estina is a queen with broad shoulders and has legs for days, but she needed to balance out the bottom half of this to make the illusion work. So this is a boot from me.
It's a moot for me in that it is again an objectively pleasant look. It's fine. It's not bad. But it is there's nothing about this that's a schoolgirl to me. There's no whimsy to it. There's nothing that's exaggerated. I think the issue with Astana, and I think this is why she rightly got eliminated, was that she has a tremendous potential, but she was not pushing herself in any way in this competition. And she certainly didn't push herself in this challenge. So I'm gonna moot it. Next up, we have her teammate slash competitor, Bimini Bomb Boulash. Go ahead, Derek.
So good style choices, very well constructed. And honestly, for Bimini, it might be one of the strongest looks she has shown us this far, which, considering she just whipped us up on the fly, gets props from me. She's serving seductress from head to toe, just enough body showing in the right places. I'm seeing shades of Trinity the Tuck in this, which is a good thing. The shade of blue and the lace work really did her favors. And honestly, I haven't been a huge fan of Bimini this season, but she really surprised me this week. So this gets a toot from me.
Yeah, it's a toot for me as well. This was a great week for Bimini, I think, in terms of her personality again, but also I thought that she did well. is this the most work heavy garment? No, it's not. It's a very simple garment underneath with a very dramatic overlay. Again, the fabric's doing the work here, but I think it is striking. I think she made terrific styling choices. That wig, the mug, it looks great. She looks like a seductress. I think you use that term.
Mhm.
And I am fully here for it. So it's a toot for Bimini. Finally, we have Team Gold, and up first it is Ellie Diamond. What did you think?
So her concept was Marie Antoinette inspired, and I'm not getting that in the slightest here.
Yeah.
She made really good use of the gold, even if there were parts of it that looked a little crafty. Um, I am never here for a ruffled panty line, quite frankly. I also 100% agree with Michelle Visage that this was Pirate Wench 100%. I think if you put it through that lens, then absolutely, spot on, makes complete sense. Ellie is someone who has good attention to detail, does her hair and makeup extremely well, and she may be young, but she's holding herself in this competition. Always gives me a good silhouette. But is this a spectacular look? No, ma'am. But I'd argue that absolutely holds its own in competition to her golden girlfriend this week, Lawrence. So this is a toot.
I'm gonna moot it. I think I'm holding Ellie to a higher bar. And I think, as you point out, the ruffle panty line, that's giving me bikini wax stat. Where I think Ellie excels is in her accessories. She had a lot of great little details in there with the pearls and the hair and the cuffs, etc. But it's a very simple body shape that's not particularly interesting. And I don't really think she did herself any favors with this. It's not bad, but it's not good. And I know she can do better. So moot. Finally, Derek, it is Lawrence
Lawrence
Cheney.
Cheney.
Ah, I'm just going to end up grunting it by the end of the season. What did you think, Derek?
I think we can all admit that Lawrence has a special place in all of our hearts because she's self-deprecating and always in on the joke, and we appreciate that. This week, the Susan Boyle of drag is serving as Goldfinger, Mother of the Bride, and she does so with perfection. Really great use of materials, fit and finish are impeccable. Love a mermaid moment, and honestly, the sheer sleeves with the gold cuffs were a nice choice because it helps lighten up the top of this look. And for a big girl, she really knows how to play with proportions and to help balance out the man underneath. So Lawrence gets a two.
Yeah, it's a total toot for me. This is Sex Pot from the golden age of Hollywood. I'm getting Jane Mansfield. Yes, it is old skewing, but she's doing it really well. I think that it was really between her and Ahora for the win, in my opinion. And this is more draggy, whereas Ahora was more fashion. But this made more of a statement in part because of the color. I think it was really well executed, and I will echo your sentiment that what she does so well as a big girl is she defines that body in a way that really makes her look luscious.
Yeah.
So it's a toot for Lawrence. Speaking of toots, Derek, your top toot of the week.
My top toot of the week is Bimini Bamboulash. This Navy seductress look was very well done, and she definitely impressed me this week.
Awesome. My top toot of the week is Ahora. And I felt a little bad for her because she really wanted this challenge. And I wonder if she'd had a different color, if maybe she would have had it. So
Yeah.
that is it for us. Thank you so much for watching Birdwatch. Please make sure to check out the other Drag Race materials on our YouTube channel. We do these videos as well for season 13's runways. While you're there, also check out the greatpopculturedebate.com, where you will find episodes of our podcast, see which debates we've already covered, and see what polls are open for your votes as you actually determine what we talk about on our shitty little podcast. So thank you so much for watching. We very much appreciate it. Have a great week, and hip hip cheerio.